Okay, so I'm back and we've already covered 12 tools and I will be doing the next 6 now. Also, my new MSI laptop would be coming next week. So lucky for Windows users that I'll be doing tutorials for Windows now. So woohoo, it's gonna be lit. So now let's start with the first tool in this tutorial. First is a box tool. It basically makes a box, like a solid box. You can type in the values if you want. Like if you want like 100 as a length, 100 as the width, and 100 as the height. Here you go. Your box. We have a cylinder. Again, you can type in a radius, you can type in a diameter, whatever you want, and you'll get a radius. We have a sphere. Next, we have a sphere. As simple as that. You can type in the radius, you can type in the diameter, whatever. Then there's a diameter sphere. It's the same thing. You just enter the diameter rather than the radius or whatever. And then you have an ellipsoid. I think you call it an ellipsoid, right? So ellipsoid is kind of like a UFO, or maybe a gems or M&M, something like that. So that's how you draw an ellipsoid. We have a paraboloid. It kind of looks like your woofer speaker, like the thing inside the speakers. Then we have a cone. We all know these are like basic shapes, so I'm just kind of running through it so that you know where they are. We have a truncated cone. You can make it thin, you can make it thicker, however you want it to be. We have a pyramid. We have a truncated pyramid. Okay. You can even enter the number of sides you want. If I want it to be a 3-sided pyramid, I could just type in 3, and then when I make it, I'll get a 3-sided pyramid. Right? So yeah. Then we have a tube. It's like a hollow cylinder with a little bit of thickness, because obviously every material has a thickness, right? So you can decide on the thickness. If you know the thickness, you can type in thickness. Then we have a torus. It's like one of my favorite ones. It looks like a donut and I love food. So we have this. We have a pipe. Okay, so to use the pipe tool, you need to have like a curve, right? So you make a curve, however you want it to be, right? And then you take the pipe tool and you decide on the radius or diameter. Click. In the end, if you want it to go thicker, you can leave it to a thicker position. Then you right click. Here you go. There's another version of this which has a round cap. So let's try that. So you have like thick and then like a similar thin. Then you right click, you'll get like a rounded end. That's the difference. We have extrude curve, planar curve. So the curve has to be on one surface. Otherwise it won't be extruded. Like this surface might not be extruded if it's not on one plane. But no, it's on one plane, so it would be extruded. So let's try. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, let's try extruding this curve. And you can type in the distance and you extrude it. Then you have an extrude solid. Too many options. You can extrude it to the point. You can extrude it tapered. We've covered something similar to this in the earlier video where we had these options in the extrude command. So I won't be repeating. It will be like too boring. Now we have a Boolean. So Boolean basically kind of combines two shapes together. Like if we have a cuboid or a cube and the cylinder, right? And it's kind of intersecting at a place and we want it to form one shape. Like we want one shape to look like this. Right now it's two shapes, right? If we want it to look like one shape, we do this and then we Boolean them. and they're one shape now, right? They're not two shapes anymore, they're one part. Oops. Okay, yeah, okay. So now we have the Boolean difference. You select the surface or polysurface we want to subtract from, then you select the surface we want to subtract with, and we right click, and here you go, you have a cut. The next one is Boolean intersection. It does the opposite. So it basically saves the things which are intersecting and deletes everything else. Right? So select the first set of surface and select the second set of surface and right click. And you will be saved. You will be left saved. You will be left with this, the intersecting part. We have a split. It divides all these things into three parts but does not delete anything. So you have like three portions, like 1, 2, and 3. So all the other tools are kind of exploratory. You need to use them. They're like very interesting tools. Create solid is also an interesting tool. Like, for example, you have you've made a surface. You've made a set of surfaces. Right? You have the surface. And then you kind of place the surfaces in a way that it forms a cavity inside. Intersecting at a place, and if I open the coaster rail, you can see that there's like a shape forming inside it. Right? You see like a slanted solid or something. So now when I use this tool, create solid, and I select these surfaces and right click, it will give me a solid, which is being formed due to the intersections happening inside it. It's a good tool. I like it. It's an interesting tool. Okay, so the next tool is a shell polysurface. Like if you have a solid and you want to create a rim out of it, and you don't want to like make the whole thing again, you can just right click, and here you go. You have like a shelled surface. Like today I made some knobs in my company, and I thought I'll have to do the whole thing again because one part of the knob had to be carved out for a stone to be embedded in between. And then I was like, oh shit, I have the shell tool. So I just use the shell tool, and it was like super easy after that. So yeah, that's the shell tool. And then we have so many things right here. These are like the main ones you need to know. Cap, planar is a cap tool. You don't really need to use it from here. It's like if you have like a shape which you have maybe extruded from a curve and it isn't solid. It's like a whole thing, and you want to make it solid. So you type in cap. Instead of the solid, you right click and you have capped it, right? So that's the cap. Then we have like so many other tools. Let's see what else do we have. We have like extract surface. If you have a solid, you want the surface to come out, you right click and then you will have this as a separate thing to be extracted out from the solid. We have the project curves. Kind of projects like a sticker kind of a thing. So if you have the cylinder, and you have like a curve on it, a curve you want to put on it, right? Like I'll make like a flubber, a pretty little flubber. And then when you select the project curves, you select the curve, you select the surface, and it's projected. Now there are three types of these. The project curves lose kind of works like a project curve, but it stretches and it's more flexible. So with some curves, the project curves lose would work, and with some curves, the project curves would work. The pull curve The pull curve kind of makes the projection smaller on the tool. Duplicate edge is a very helpful tool. It's like super helpful. So I won't be telling you where you can use it right now because that will be too complicated, but you need to remember this tool. Rather than remembering it where it is, you just remember you type in DUP and you will get Dup Edge tool. You Dup Edge, you select the edges you want to duplicate, you right click, and you'll have these edges. Because sometimes you make like super complicated solids, but then you don't know how to make them again. So you can duplicate their curves to repeat it. So it's very, very, very helpful. Similarly, you can duplicate the meshes, you can duplicate borders, you can duplicate face border, means like if you have a solid and you want one face to be duplicate, like its curve to be duplicate, you can use this. These are all kind of versions of that, not all of them, till here, like extract wireframe. Then we have like a very important tool which is Make 2D drawing. It's like a lifesaver for me. So sometimes it happens that you're like drawing a curve and you're quite engrossed in like how beautiful it's looking and all of that, and you forget, and you kind of forget that you're drawing it, and then you kind of forget that you've drawn it on different planes, like it's coming out from one plane, but you want it to look the exact same. What do you do? So you select this, you want it to look like this, so go to the top, select this, and you type in Make 2D and hit enter, and you have the copy of the exact same looking curve but which has been corrected and is in 2D view, right? So that when you want to make a surface out of this curve, you won't be able to do it if it's not plane, right? So when you use the Make 2D tool and then try to make it a surface, voila, you have it. It's a very helpful tool, so do remember, do not forget these tools. Specifically the ones I'm telling you not to. Because other tools are quite obvious, but the Make 2D tool is not obvious. And when I was running Rhino, nobody told me about this tool, and I had to figure it out. And I had repeated so many curves till then that I didn't know something like that existed. And I used to make the same curve again and again, and I could not figure out why it's not kind of forming a surface I wanted. And then I discovered this Make 2D. It's like magical. I love this tool. Okay, so the next one is kind of a mesh related tool, so I will not be explaining it to you because we haven't started learning anything about meshes. You don't need it right now. Let's go on to the next tool, which is a join tool, which is also a lifesaver tool. Okay, so now we have the join tool. We made a curve. Or maybe a triangle. But you've made it with separate lines, polylines. So you need to select all of them and click the join tool. And it'll be joined into one closed curve. And then, yeah, it's all sorted. The next one is an opposite to that. If you have a closed curve and you want to break it apart, just click on break. And this just does not work with curves, it works with surfaces too. Like if you kind of have this, okay, and you want to break it apart, click on the break apart, and all these will be converted into surfaces. And then you want to join these two, you click on this, and you join them. And voila, it's joined, right? So that's it for the 6 tools, and I hope you got them, and I hope you're practicing. So let's meet in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I hope it's helping you guys.